Shakespeare once wrote, "What's in a name?" Well, let me tell you what's in mine. 4 syllables, 10 letters, and 2 E's. My first name is Keon. Keon. A quick Google search says of Gaelic origin, apparently meaning God is gracious, but Wikipedia says otherwise, claiming it's a common Persian name which means king. Well, I'm neither Gaelic nor Persian, but I can assure you, Urban Dictionary offers a few more interesting variations I rather like. A friend once told me that your name was really just a bunch of sounds people make to get your attention, or a string of letters society uses to identify you from everyone else. And I'll be honest, it made sense to me when I first heard that. It's just like an owner calling their dog to come back when they've gone astray, or a whistle that you personally identify with. But the more I thought about it, the less convinced I became. You know, there had to be millions of John Smiths or Zayn Ahmeds or Arjun Patels out there. They couldn't all be the same, all be so two-dimensional. Something had to set them apart, make them stand out. If you look at my name, for instance, you'll find a rather interesting origin story. My grandfather had a chart, a long, dusty old chart, which listed several horoscopes and planetary signs from Tamil astrology. And the purpose of that chart was to identify the letter of your child when they were born. So, when I was born, my grandfather consulted this chart, inputted my date of birth, my location of birth, and the time of birth as well, and out pops a single letter, the Tamil letter Kina, or K in English. Now, my parents are immigrants coming to the UK, searching for a better life, and they wanted a name which people could easily pronounce. So, from Kina came Keon. Not a traditionally Tamil name, but still fulfilled its purpose. But I've often wondered what that purpose really was. In the past, names were incredibly significant in several ancient cultures. Take the ancient Egyptians, for instance. They believed everything in the universe had some sort of secret name. You can do some further research on that, but essentially, they believed that everything in the universe, any entity, had some sort of linguistic representation and held immense power. Here, the name did not identify an individual, but instead defined their very essence. The name shaped the person. Ancient Romans used a rather different approach, using a system which essentially allowed them to honor their ancestors, but also signified their status in Roman society. In some rare cases, it also expressed personal achievements and attributes. Scipio Africanus got his name from defeating Hannibal, Rome's greatest enemy, in Africa. It's not particularly imaginative, but I guess it still summarizes famed acts. Like many good things in the Western world, we have borrowed the Roman way of doing things, especially when it comes to names. Words like Tsar and Kaiser originate from the name Caesar, showing how that man's power, authority, and drive was something many leaders wanted to align themselves with. I guess here, unlike in the case of the ancient Egyptians, it's the person that shapes the name. However, in today's world, names have become the subject of intense scrutiny. Whether conscious or not, people can automatically build certain stereotypes, evoke certain mannerisms, or assume certain appearances. It's a tough world. One social experiment discovered how the same job application was more successful if it was labeled with a traditionally Anglo-Saxon name like Emily than an Afro-Caribbean name like Lakeisha. These Anglo-Saxon names received 50% more callbacks across all industries. Names in our society provide a gateway to one's gender, ethnicity, and sometimes even socioeconomic status. 55% of someone's first impression on you may be based off your appearance. 38% based on your tone of voice, and 7% based on the words you use. But before they've even met you, 100% of their initial thoughts and ideas are based on your name and the reputation it brings. After all, many people doubted whether a man named Barack Hussein Obama could ever get far in American politics. He went on to become the first black US president and managed to win the Nobel Peace Prize. So, back to Shakespeare. What's in a name? I'll be honest, I really do think there's a lot. Names aren't just some random bunch of sounds or a string of letters. They mean something more real. Names are your culture. Names are your heritage. Names are something that your kids will get from you. In many ways, the most important word to a person is their name. So instead of shying away from it, we should embrace it, accept it as part of our identity. And next time, think carefully about your own name, or the name you might give to your child. It can, quite literally, change lives. Thank you for listening.